Welcome back. So after all the problems I documented after my first drive with FSD 12.6.1, I decided to test 3 of the worst issues that popped up. While there were some real improvements in FSD 12.6.1, these issues really held back the overall performance. My initial tests were done in rainy conditions, so I wanted to test it out again in dry weather to see if the software has truly regressed. So on our original test here, we were doing a left turn at this stop sign. As you can see, I've got no traffic coming from the left or the right, but FSD had significant issues in making this left turn. It wouldn't move forward. It was very hesitant. You can see it slowly inching forward and then slamming on the brakes. And I was trying to be very, very patient with that. As you can see, it's inching forward. I'm looking there. Again, it was rainy conditions at the time, so I was wondering if this could be something involved with the cameras, but it had clear line of sight, no issues. And eventually what I had to do was press on the pedal here to get it going because it just wasn't moving and I had a car coming behind me. So let's test it out in dry conditions to see how it fares. So here I am now in the drier conditions. Now I'm going to be driving onto that road. One of the issues actually before I made that left turn was I was driving on this road that had a speed limit of 40 and was driving very sluggish and slow and well below that. Now if you look again, see there on the right, you can see that the speed limit there is 40. Now take a look at my speedometer. My speedometer there is at 23 right now, 22, going slow. I've got no cars that are behind me right now. I've got, again, great weather, great visibility. There's no reason why it should be driving this slow. As you can see, it's driving at about 18 right now. So this is a significant regression as well, is that on some of these slower streets, for some reason, it's not reading the signs or the speed limits correctly, and it's driving well below that. So what I'm just going to do is put my foot on the pedal right now, just speed things up, and then we're going to get to that left turn right now. Okay, so we're at the left turn right now, so let's see what happens this time at left turns, and let's see if it gets held up. Again, I've got no cars behind me, no cars coming from the left or right. You can see how slow it is already. It's inching forward. Now look what happens. It just stops. It's not in the middle of the road right now, but almost in the middle of the road, and it's just not moving forward. It's inching forward, and again, I've got no cars around me, so I'm going to be very patient to see how long it takes. And as you can see, it's not making that turn. So this is just a huge fail right now. So obviously something that's going to have to get fixed in the 12.6.2, which I believe is just going to be rolling out this week. Yeah, huge issue, big regression. On to the next scenario. So in my original test, I had a huge issue here where an FSD, instead of turning right here and getting onto the highway ramp, it decided to abandon the turn at the last minute. It seemed to get spooked out a little bit by the crosswalk there. It abandoned it, and again, it put me in a very dangerous situation here where I had to take over and make sure that I could merge back into those lanes properly. So we're going to try it here under dry conditions. I've got my hand ready by the wheel just in case. Now I do have a car in front of me. It's slowing down. It's signaling to go right. Let's see if it's able to make the turn this time. And take a look at the wheel. So, this time it worked. So that's good to see. So again, because that was such a dangerous situation to put me in the first time, I wanted to test this out multiple times. So the first retest was a success. So what we're going to do now is we are going to go try it out a second time. All right, no cars in front of me this time. Good signaling in advance. Good move into the right lane. Now let's see what happens here. I've got an advanced green here, so I should be completely clear. Take a look at the wheel. Now you see it looked like a little stuttering there on the wheel, but again, it did the right thing and went onto the ramp as it should. So maybe that first time was something that was weather related, but it's good to see that it worked this time. And again, the merging on the highway was impeccable, as it is on this version of FSD that now has the end-to-end AI driving. And for our last test, we had another big fail here on this road here that I was bending to the left. Speed limit was 40, and if you take a look at the speedometer, see what happens here when I start making this turn. As you can see on this original drive, the speed is well below that, and you can see it starts just precipitously dropping, going 11. The car's almost stopping in the middle of the road where it really had no reason to do so. Again, is this because of inclement weather? I'm not sure, but it's just not driving very well right now. So we're going to retry that, and we are going to give it a shot in very dry but cold conditions. So you can see that I'm on the same road right now. Actually, if you look, you see the road is very white, and the reason for that actually is because the temperatures really dropped this week because of that, I guess, that Arctic vortex. And as a result, it actually made it very difficult for FSD to see the divider lines in there. So if you look on my display, you can see it's kind of struggling with figuring out if it should be in the left lane or right lane. So it's kind of moving back and forth there. But overall, it's doing a good job in that it's not slowing down. It's keeping me going forward there. So that's positive to see. So what we're going to do is we're just going to speed up the camera here, and we're just going to move forward until we get to that same bend, and we're going to see what happens this time. All right, here we are at the same location where the car pretty much almost stopped the last time. Again, the speed coming into this bend this time is a little bit faster, which is good. That's good to see there. We got a little vehicle parked on the right. Now take a look at my speedometer again. Look at that. See how it's slowing down again? So now it's down to 25, 24, 23. I mean, just 26. I mean, it's just going way too slow considering that this is a 40 road. We've got that vehicle there parked on the right. So again, it was a little bit better than last time. But look at now, see how it's signaling there? It was trying to signal and get me off there to the right well before I had to turn right. If you can see that building over there where I'm manually driving into now, that's actually where it should have started signaling and putting me into. So again, some serious issues here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to speed up the camera. I'm going to drive on this road, but from the other direction. And I'm going to see if it has the same issues going around the bend from the other direction. Okay, we're going to just be turning left here. Okay, so let's see if it slows down or stops again this time. Again, we've got lots of cars that are parked on the side of the road. As you can see, this time the speed is going well. Again, the road is 40, it's going 44. This is how it should be driving from both directions. Now we're going to be doing the bend around. See, we're passing that vehicle that was parked there before. Slowing down a little bit, but that's fine. I don't mind you slowing around a little bit as we go around the bend. Again, it's cold conditions, but look at that. So back up to 40. So there, it did that perfectly. So it should be working like that all the times. But as you can tell, we've got some serious issues and regressions when it comes to driving on these streets at slower speeds. So again, something that's going to have to be fixed in 12.6.2 coming up. So there you go. So again, thanks for watching. So as a summary, we did 3 retests of situation. The first one, we were doing that left turn at a stop sign, and it completely failed there, so a huge regression there. The second test was basically retesting where it originally failed going onto the highway ramp. This time it passed that, and I tested 2 times. So maybe that was just something that was related to the cameras or how it interpreted the crosswalk. And then for the third test, we had another fail again, where basically FSD couldn't manage to speed appropriately on an unbusy street, and was driving well below the limit there. So again, lots of regressions, lots of improvements that need to be made in the future versions of FSD, and hopefully in this 12.6.2 that's coming out this week, we start seeing some of those improvements there. If you're still experiencing some of these issues, please feel free to leave a comment below. My last video, I had lots of great comments, and a lot of people were echoing some of the concerns that I had. You all drive safe now. I'll see you on the roads.